make yesterday a video in German language about the Palestine state, and they plan to make two states for the Palestinians one and for the Israel ones. And I am afraid when I make this video in English language that I cannot put on YouTube because they deleted now every videos. I have 3 accounts now, but they deleted all my English video. So they rebel against God's word, and this is almost happened now 20 years. I try to translate this video in English, and I try to put on YouTube, not because I want to kill Israel. No, I want to save Israel, because when Israel not worship God who sent me, even when they kill me, they will lost. God will destroy them. Is written, Israel, what I was told, what I was wrote, is written by all the prophets. And when you delete it, you deleted God's word. I begin there that in Hosea and every prophet is Zachariah. Zachariah is also written that on the end time, the woman who's standing on the red horse and holding a stone with 7 eyes will build God's temple again. He must be the cleanest one, and he have 7 spirits who are sent over the world and see everything. And this clean woman who's standing on the red horse and holding the stone, the cornerstone with 7 eyes, can build God's temple again with righteous one, with a law, with peace. And no unclean man can build my temple, says the Lord. I make on the university the red horse. I was standing on the red horse. I was standing on the red horse, and when you translate this video, I will say that this generation is almost wronger as in Sodom and Gomorrah. I want to clean them. I want to wake up them, because God will destroy them. God want to make his own house new with the law and not need such Sodom nation. This was the red horse video. And why they not translate this video? Because they are all thinking are as I was told, as in Sodom and Gomorrah, and not help me to clean Israel, and not help me to clean the nation about this Sodom behavior, and not help me to buy his house as God wants. They just see a horse and a woman and think on Sodom thinking. Even when I was prophesied, this nation is wronger as in Sodom and Gomorrah, and God want to clean them. This is the red horse video, and I opened all the gospels in the university. I make the black horse video, I make the white horse video, the yellow horse and the red horse. I wrote about all the horses, what does it mean, and then the Nazi teachers, maybe they read my books for these videos and send me letters that God not exist who send me, and when I believe in God, they kill me. Because they belong to this Yazabel Sodom or Gomorrah, and they send me emails, they want to kill me when I believe in God. And with these emails, I go to the decan, to the director on the university, who was help me to become back my diploma, because they want to kill me because I wrote about God and judged the Sodom generation. And then Israel just watch this theater. Benjamin, on which side you are? Or you are on this side, on this Sodom Yazabel generation, this Gypsy Orban generation, or you are on God's side. Your father was one that you built Canaan. Yes, it's true. But your father, even when your father live now on earth, your own father would want to tell you that you must build Canaan with God, as God wanted, and not with your own thinking and with the unclean Nazi Donald Trump. Because I know your father, Benjamin. And God prepared my way to buy his house from childhood. Not Donald Trump suffer in a wood Not Donald Trump suffer from childhood in the wood, that he not can eat unclean things and cry in the wood all his life, because God prepared his way to build his house. Not Donald Trump cry in Christmas or in every celebration time in the wood because his own family hit him that he not want to touch unclean things. I was cry all my life that I not can eat unclean things and suffer in the wood because God forbid me to touch unclean things because it's written, Benjamin, that I am will build God's house, no unclean man can do, just I am who holding the seven stones in my hand with seven spirit and seven eyes. I not just eat a pig, I not eat rabbit, this libo, I don't know what is it in English. I not eat this, you can ask Miko Peter, you can ask, we go in a pizzeria, and Miko Peter was in my friendship, a man, and we always go with a lot of friends in pizzeria. And Miko Peter was asked me sometime why I not eat such pizza with this mussel. I don't know what is it in English. This mussel from the ocean. These snakes there and polyp. I don't know what is it in English. There was all unclean things on this pizza, and I was told him I never can touch unclean things. I never can eat fish eggs, caviar. My own family was hit me because I not eat caviar. God forbid me. All the laws, what is written by Moses. God was told me I never can touch these things, and I never was touch these things from childhood. And all the nation was hit me because I never touch unclean things. And not Donald Trump suffer for this. I am from childhood. Because it's written, no unclean man can build my house, says the Lord. Donald Trump eat all the unclean shit. He drink blood. He's a Nazi. I know his deeds, Benjamin. God is not blind. He eat pig and rabbit and all this shit and all this shit what is forbidden. And he not know God's will because God not talk to him. He is the Hananiah. So and I know also his thinking because I know his thinking and I know his thinking from everyone, from everyone. And when I wrote more than 20 years about Canaan, Benjamin, about Canaan, that Canaan must be wild, but as God showed me why Israel rebelled against me, when all the things what is written, what I was told, is written by Jewish prophets. And I wrote about prophecies. I not make Sodoma videos. I judge the Sodoma behavior with these videos. And I want just to tell that now I translate this video what Christopher also told you. Christopher not Christopher must watch my videos, Benjamin, because he's a German person. He's not a Jew, but he tried to understand me. A Gentile in Germany, in Nazi Germany, a Gentile try to understand me, what I make, and watch my videos, and try to understand me and try to help me. Not a Gentile must try to help me, Benjamin. This is a shame when Gentiles watch my videos and try to help me, and Israel not try to help his own God and just rebel against me. But so the scripture are fulfilled. On the end time, everyone will hear my voice, and my own nation will rebel against me, and the Gentiles will listen me and hear my voice. This is written and fulfilled. So, and it's written also in Zechariah, Benjamin, that Zechariah was say, no one will believe this time in this time, and I holding the stone in my hand with seven eyes. No one will believe me. Everything will lie about me, but God will judge them with right, and with right He will build Canaan. And everybody just think this is a small day. This I'm a small person. I'm nothing. And God will show them that I'm not nothing, Benjamin. No man suffers so long as I am for God's will, for God's temple and Canaan. And now I want to translate this video what I make to yesterday in Germany. It's written, Benjamin, that on the end time, Syria, Gaza, Damascus, and all this nation, Ashkelon, Ashkod, all these cities will destroy by wars, is written. And then the Arabic people must emigrated under the nation in the Europa Union, is written in the Bible, and it was fulfilled. But it's also written that God bring in that time the cornerstone to Israel to buy his land with righteous law, not with war, with righteous law. And then is also written by Jeremiah in every prophecy, he will bind Canaan with right, with law, with human right, and then a lot of Arabic people can return to his own land. Is written by the Bible, by Jeremiah, by all the Jewish prophets. And the house of Assyria in Egypt can also worship in Israel God, and he barred the third temple where is written, for all the nation who belong to God can enter there. So when this is written that all God himself want to buy his house, and he plant back the Arabic people in his own land, and he bought Canaan not with war, with the law, and it's written by all the prophets that Egypt and Assyria can also worship God, and the third temple will open it to all the nation. And it's not written, Israel and Benjamin, that God want to see two states in Canaan, one for the Arabic people and one for the Jews and one for the Khazars. What's this? What's this? It's not written. What you make with Donald Trump is not God's will, Benjamin. I want to help you, and I want to help Israel. When you can listen me, Israel will abide with God, and then God return. But you not want to listen me. You want to kill me and make me shit just because I not uploaded when you make plans with a Nazi Ku Klux Klan who eat from childhood unclean things, who touch unclean things, who make unclean things. He is also in this Lolita pedophile group inside. He sold bitches. I know all his deeds because God showed me this. He buy the beach tower, and with such unclean Nazi man, you want to buy my kingdom. Therefore, I not want to send rain. I know from every human they did, Benjamin. God himself show me. When I draw at night, I not draw a mental sick guy. I draw the Messiah when I go at night in heaven and we talk. Maybe then after then I have also a good time with him, and this is the only thing what I like to remember when I think about him and draw my husband. This is not a sin. Love is not a sin when I love my husband and worship the Messiah. I draw the Messiah. And I not draw a unclean mental sick guy who not can do the law and not can do with the law my life better, just destroy as Satan and Jezebel. They are not belong to God around me, Benjamin. And the big beach system, Benjamin, is a big city, the New World Order city, Illuminati city, and not a woman. Is written in the Apocalypse 17. The big beach is a very, very big system, a very big city who hate the Moses law and who hate the Messiah and want to buy the unclean kingdom and kill all the holy people and the prophets who belong to God. This is the big Jezebel Babylon system who hate God and worship false gods and false laws. And I judge this big city because this big new world, the satanistic Illuminati city, is not this new kingdom what God want to buy it. But when you read Daniel, in Daniel also is written, when the fourth kingdom, when the last fourth kingdom want to buy on earth his power, is written by Daniel. This fourth kingdom, it will be the last. This fourth kingdom will be worship another gods as the Jews worship before, these Baphomet and gods and all these Kabbalistic, Illuminati, Hellenistic false evil Zeus gods they worship. I know all these things, what they worship. And then when they buy this new kingdom, Satanistic kingdom, Daniel will say, then God will sit on his chair with white hair and judge them always, always about all these deeds, what they make, and want to build his own kingdom on earth. And this is happened now 20 years. I sit and judge them about these evil kingdoms, about the four kingdoms what they built for my own eyes. My hair, Benjamin, is white because it's white as a worship. I just must paint it every week, but it's very white. I become white hair when I was 20 because they always want to kill me for God and for God's word, and this is happened. And I know everything about God. God Himself. Ask, please, Donald Trump and one Rabbi Benjamin, please. Ask Donald Trump or Mike or Pompeo or your friends or Benny Gantz or one Rabbi. Ask that they know who looks like inside the temple in the 30 big building. And when they not can tell you how looks inside the temple, the 13 big building, and how many beds are there, and how looks like inside, why you say to me that I am the false prophet and want to kill me? Your own people nothing know about God's will and God's kingdom, and your own Nazi friends will not tell you this. Because not God sent them, Benjamin. I know it, but I cannot tell you on telephone. Because when you buy then without me the temple and let me here in a shit prison, God will also destroy Israel. Because it's not God's will to pain his own wife, the bride, and not have the bride. In Micha is written that in the end time God's bride will come. In Micha is also written the Apocalypse 12. In the end time, Shion, daughter, the God's bride, will come. She is the only one on the end time who know God's law and God's will. And she have a little house under the vineyard. And this little house in the vineyard is the only house who do God's will and not worship false gods, and therefore she must live in the desert many times, many years, what it was happened and what is written in Apocalypse 12, that on the end time God's bride, the woman and the son, she must live in the desert because the Satan synagogue rule everybody against her, is the same what Micha was saw. And then she moved from this desert to Babel. I'm here in Babel, and then she will live in Babel 3.5 years. I will make in Babel a judgment against the Goys and the Satanistic system. Therefore, I make all these years judgment against the Satanistic system, because in Micha is written, then the woman go to Babel after these many years when she live in a desert for God, and then in Babel she make exactly 3.5 years judgment against this Nazi Satanistic system and go to lower and kill every Gentile. I make every enemies under my feet before God return. And I make it. And when the Jews not understand why I go to every court, because it's written. Because it's written. And everything what I make from childhood is God's will, Benjamin. And I wrote about this many books, and many just deleted. They not will understand it, and when they not can talk with me, this is also not God will when they not can talk with me, because then the Satan can rule the evil mind against me, and they will never know what I make and why I make. God of Israel commanded me to make it, and is written by every Jewish prophet. And not just God will judge them on the end time. Every prophet, as Micha, Josiah, every prophet wrote about me also. And when they not believe me, The prophets also will judge them on the end time. When they stand for God's throne, they must answer God, why did not believe me even when I was from God? And all the prophets wrote about me. Josiah 54 and 55 is Apocalypse, the woman in the sun, who always in vain and burn, but she not burn a child, she burn one nation new, and she always must suffer for this because burn a nation new, Benjamin with the law. Burn, I was wrote in my book with 19 years, 10 billion people rebel against God, and I burn them new with a new spirit, with a new heart, and try to make clean all the world. It's not just a simply burning from one child. I suffer to clean the world from the Satan and demons, and it's also Josiah written. This woman called them on the end time to the water and give the water of life forever. This is Apocalypse, the last point. The bride we always call the people to the water, the living water. When God return, then they can become this living water. And it's written in Josiah 55 also. And Joel also say, when God return and sit on his throne, under his feet will flow this water. And who drink about this water will never die. It's written in the Quran also. And I call them to this water. I call them, please buy my house and the throne for God, that he can return and sit on his throne, and then the water will flow. But the Gentiles, Benjamin, the Gentiles, Sodoma thinking, is Sodoma thinking, and I know they thinking. Even when I told them and wrote about this, they not understand. They just thinking on Yazabeh shit, make me shit, and thinking on Yazabeh shit. Yes, I not tell now what they think, but I know it, and it's a shame. And when the Jews rebel against me, it's not a problem. Not I will kill them, that they himself will die for their own sin, that they not worship a woman who is from God and want to buy God's temple, because the bride, when the bride sleep, is written by Moses. When the bride sleep with his husband, they are one. And what I told Israel is not my will, is God's will, what is written by all the prophets. And for their own eyes was fulfilled what I make, what is written in the Bible. And they just rebel against me. Then they worship Donald and they worship Satan and goats. It's not my will. I just warn them, when they do it, they will die and not resurrected. And when they not understand that I want that they live. Because when I told them, please be good, please be clean, that I can resurrect you on the end, that you live with me in my kingdom. And then they say to me that I am Satan, because I judge them that they not can worship Satan and gods and evil things, that I am Satan. This is a fantastic behavior, what they make also with the Mashiach, and just telling the Mashiach he's Satan and the evildoer, a Samaritan and not a Jew. The Satan never change. The Satan never change. What they make with the Mashiach, I suffered 20 years with the same. And for Frankfurt, the Torah from Frankfurt, from this rabbi, I was told now this in English, but he can translate it. It's also not God's will that people look for other prophets and think that I am maybe Rachel, I am maybe Leah, I am maybe, I don't know what they think. It's not good to look in the past who I am, because this behavior is not will help. I told them who I am, I told them. And when I told them the truth, what is written by all the prophets, then why they not believe it? And it's the same, is written in the Torah, in every prophet in the Old Testament, before the Mashiach will come, they will hear in Jerusalem a big voice in the desert who will shout, Make the way free for the Lord, because the day is near, his return. And is written by Josiah, every prophecy before the Messiah will return in Jerusalem will come. They will hear in the desert a big loud voice who will shout, make the way free from the Messiah. And then the Jews heard the shouting voice from John of Baptist in the desert, as the Old Testament was prophecy. John of Baptist always say, make the way free, because the Messiah is here. And they go to the John of Baptist and look in the past, which prophet are resurrected, and was asked him, are you Eliah or Moses, or who you are? What he was answered them, I am the shouting voice in the desert, make the way free from the Messiah, as is written in the Old Testament by all the prophets. And they not understand. They not understand. Because I think, therefore they not understand, maybe they holding the law, they holding maybe the Torah, they just read Moses, but they not read all the prophets. And when they not read all the prophets, they never will understand God's plan. Because God's plan is very, very clearly, but to understand God's plan, you must read all the prophets and not false rabbi teaching, because the false rabbi teaching is not the same as God's will as a prophet. Because the prophet wrote what will happen, and what the prophet wrote was from God and not his own teaching. And I'm also not wrote my own teaching. I was wrote what will happen, and all the things are happen. I was wrote also what they will do with me. I was know their own deeds, and it was happen. And my teaching is not my own teaching. I was always say this is from God. And when they delete it, I send floods and hail, and I make it. They can kill me. Tovia Singer, you will ask Tovia Singer, what will happen when I die? I was told, when I die, then God will destroy everybody. No chance, they will not become more chance to resurrect it. Everyone who will help me in Hungary, and these people who was die for me because they tried to help me, they will resurrected. Everyone who want to help me and listen me is from God and will resurrected. But when they not listen, they will not resurrected. They then from Satan who not want to build God's temple. And when I die, God will finish it so then that he will destroy everybody. He created a new heaven and a new earth, and then he will resurrected some people who will build his house, and then he return. But it will be easy to listen God. When you read the Esechiel book from 36, when you read the book of Ezekiel, Torah, from 36 to 44, that is clearly written God's plan. All the plan to the end, to the resurrected day, to the resurrection day. The wars in Canaan and Palestine must be happen. Syria, Damascus, all these wars must be happen. But after it was finished, the wars, it's written by Ezekiel what is God's will. Also, what I told everybody, they must clean the land 7 years from all the bones who not become a grab. This grab is a tomb. They must clean the lands from all the bones and dead people, give them a tomb. Then they must also look for all the guns and irons and bombs, all the guns and irons, make about the gas and bombs fire, and make about this iron such things what you can use for working the land, not to kill, for working the land. And then when they clean the land 7 years from the bones and the dead people and the bombs and guns, and clean the land Canaan, and then they must buy the temple, what Ezekiel saw. Then God will return, as Ezekiel saw, the valley of the bones will resurrected. God will return in the third temple under his feet will flow the river, and he saw exactly the river. He was standing with the feet in this river in the vision, and so when this river will flow, the resurrection will begin, and then will everybody live forever. This is also written by Muhammad. Muhammad saw also this day who will uh, believe in Allah and in the prophets, what Moses also wrote, because Muhammad was also wrote about Moses and the prophets, and who will buy the God's temple on the Mount of Jerusalem will resurrected, but who not believe in Moses or the prophets will not resurrected. Muhammad was warned the Arabic people. Muhammad himself was wrote that in that time when Moses called out the Jews from Egypt, then somebody was listen Moses, somebody was learn this law from Allah. These people were resurrected, these people are holy. But some people was rebel against Moses and not want to learn the law from Allah. These people was punished God, and these people were not resurrected. Muhammad himself was teach you must learn the law from Allah. Who not learn this law and not do it will not resurrected on the end time. Muhammad wrote it. And Jehan Sadat, husband Anwar Sadat, was also a holy person who resurrected. He was heard Allah God's voice. He was the first minister who go to Jerusalem, and as an Arabic Egypt people, he say, I believe in Muhammad and Allah and the prophets, and I believe in all the prophets because Muhammad teach you must believe in all the prophets. And in the prophet Ezechiel is written that on the end time everybody can worship God, and it must be build the temple for God. He was go Anwar Sadat to the Jews in the synagogue and say it in the synagogue. I believe in Moses and the prophets and Ezekiel Torah that the time will come when every nation worship God in Jerusalem, and therefore they must believe in Ezekiel what is written. And for this they kill Anwar Sadat, and Anwar Sadat was say to the wife, they make plans to kill me for God. God was told me Anwar Sadat is resurrected. And then the Arabic people not understand that Muhammad was sent by the same God as Moses and all the prophets. And Muhammad was also wrote, learn the law of Moses, just the law of Moses will save you on the last day. And believe in the prophets, what is written. When you not do it, you will not resurrected. The third temple must be built, and who not buy the third temple, and who not want to buy the third temple, for these people is not chance to live in Canaan. All these people who not want to buy God's Allah temple that Allah can return cannot live in Jerusalem. This is God's will, and it's written that all the people not can live in Canaan who are unclean and eat unclean things and not do the law. Who not do the Moses law cannot live in Canaan. And it's written in Jeremiah also on the end time, I will plant back the Arabic people who do my law and believe in me. They can return in Canaan. It's written by Jeremiah that on the end time God can plant back all the Arabic people who are clean and believe in Moses' law and do it. They can return in Canaan. Canaan is not written, Benjamin, that God want to make many states. No. It's written clearly God's will. It will be a holy land, not a goat's land. A holy land who do my law and clean the land from all what is forbidden, and all the people can worship their God who belong to Moses' law to God and do the law. This is God's will. You become a Jew when you do the law. Moses was told you become a Jew when you do the law. And when you not do the law, you become a Gentile evildoer. This is all. And when you not want to listen me, what God showed me about the third temple, because Ezekiel just saw the outside, But God was showing me inside. I was many times inside the temple in heaven. I know exactly the rooms, how they looks like inside for the holy prophets, because not just God want to return, all the 100,044 holy prophets from Mohammed, Moses, Elijah, Enoch, all the holy prophets want to return, and they will live in this 30 big building. And like know the wood, how it looks like the wood, the beds, the rooms, everything. And no rabbi will know it, and Donald Trump will also not know it. And Benjamin, when I told you I will never lie to you, you must believe it that I never lie to you, and therefore you not can tell me that I'm an evildoer just because I told you the truth. When you rebel against God, Benjamin, all the Israelites will lost. You can buy Canaan with Donald Trump, but this fourth kingdom will belong to Satan when you buy it without me. And all the people who will buy with you this satanistic kingdom without me will not resurrected on the end time and not become the lambs. I warn you, not to kill you, to save you. I want that you resurrected with the Jews. I want it. I want that you become holy. I want that the Jews believe me, that they can resurrect it. I never say that they must be evil, that they go in hell. I always say they must believe that I can resurrect them. But they rebel against God and make me shit. They want to go himself in hell on the end, not I am. Not I am wanted this. Yes, and you can translate it, the video from Christoph Höstler, and you can translate it my German video also. It's very important. Thank you.